So I'm KB with the Beat. How are you?
I'm great, KB. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. So what a fun film. Obviously there are some heavier and darker moments, but for Philip specifically, what does Nemo kind of teach Philip about how to overcome grief and start to live life again?
I think he definitely needed somebody to come into his life to fertilize him a little, to water him, I suppose, to in some way show him where the sun was shining from again, because he'd been in the dark for so long, really, down with his locks, hoping really that nobody was going to try and look inside the room of his heart. And then she comes in, I suppose, and she is this little fire starter, and she starts a little fire in him. And of course, what bonds those two is the shared grief of the same person at a different time. And he is still grieving the loss of his brother emotionally when she's obviously dealing his loss much more tangibly.
Yeah, and it's interesting because I do find that, he is also grieving kind of two versions of his brother, like the
Right.
one that he was exceptionally close to, and then kind of the one that he didn't get to know as a father as much, and, kind of the loss of their relationship. So it is interesting to see how Nemo just brightens up his world for sure. And so, what was it about kind of working on this film? What did it teach you specifically about the power of dreaming?
I'd like to have more. I feel, KB, that I just don't dream as much anymore. That sounds really bleak, but I think it's probably more like biological or something. I think I'm going to say, since I've had kids, I don't think I've had sufficient sleep to to reach the status where I could dream sufficiently. I also gave up dairy at some stage, and that cheese was doing a lot of heavy lifting. So I don't know if it's taught me anything about dreaming other than, oh, I wish I was doing a bit more of it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, listen, I don't know. Is there a correlation between dairy and the types of dreams you have? Maybe. So now
Oh,
that you've given it up.
I think cheese is, as far as I know, it's scientifically proven to, in some way, it hits some receptor in your frontal cortex, which kind of makes your dreaming. I don't know. It does in some way is a stimulus to dreaming, but I don't know why. I don't know why.
Really?
Cheesy dream.
Oh,
Oh yeah, that's not a thing you've heard of.
no, no, never. So I'm like super intrigued. I'm actually going to look it up
Oh
after this
yeah,
conversation.
cheesy
Yeah.
dreams. Oh, big time.
Okay. And so, listen, I have to ask, this is a very fantastical film. And while, like, Philip, when we obviously find out the reveal, and this is going to air, after the movie's out, but when we find the reveal that, like, Philip and Flip are indeed the same person, we don't get to see Philip kind of have a ton of dream sequences. But have you seen the film, and what was kind of your favorite sequence to watch overall in the film? Because I thought the dream sequences were some of the coolest things I've ever seen from a technology standpoint.
You know what? I felt KB exactly the same. I went to watch it in a screening room, probably like a 50-seater or whatever. So it was still a lovely big screen. And my wife and I were just like, holy smokes, they've really done. We're both looking at each other going, well, this is why it took a couple of years. It looks incredible. I mean, it's so beautiful. And different. It feels very different to other films I've seen. This kind of chaotic, I suppose, because they are working in almost a different dimensional realm. You can add in this kind of artistic element to it that doesn't necessarily need to be linear or rational, or it can be just swathes of consciousness kind of overtaking the screen. And they've done that so beautifully.
Oh my gosh, yes, so stunning. I mean, I will say the one sequence with the woman who we then find out is a nun. Her dream sequence, I think, is so lovely. Like the music and the way they're dancing, it's fantastic. So
Yeah,
yeah.
they're really at the top of their game. It's such gorgeous stuff.
Oh, absolutely. Well, this was a fantastic film, and I can't wait for everyone to see it. And just thank you so much for chatting with the Beat. Really appreciate it, Chris.
Thank you, KB. Bye bye, Debbie.
Bye. Have a good day.